You've done well. While there are still issues at the Klingon front, it's time to move to a bigger picture. Come see me at Earth Spacedock for new information. You've done excellent work so far, so I want to expand the range of your mission profiles. There are trouble spots all over the galaxy. A good Starfleet captain never shies from engaging with trouble and trying to solve problems. Within the bounds of the Prime Directive, of course. You'll find patrols at systems scattered all across the quadrant, where enemy ships or local problems need help. We also have trouble spots in other parts of the galaxy, such as Nimbus 3, Drozana Station, and the Defera system. Check into these kinds of trouble spots as time permits.
Congratulations, Commander.
Pick up Damar Khan on Starbase 114 and bring him to Starbase 39 Sierra. Starbase 114 is located in the Celis system in the Beta Quadrant.
Hello! Admiral Quinn told me that you would be available to take me to Starbase 39 Sierra. From there, I'm going to the Hobus system. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have about that area. Fascinating place. I've made it my life's work. This life, anyway. In 2387, the star in the Hobus system went supernova. The resulting explosion devastated the planets in the system, of course. But then it created a chain reaction that cut a path of destruction more than 500 light-years long. More than a dozen systems were affected by the Hobus event. Most notably, the Romulus system. Both Romulus and Remus were destroyed. Billions lost their lives. The thing is, an M-class planet like Romulus should have been protected by its stellar magnetosphere and its planetary magnetic field. They act like shields to protect the planet from radiation, and a supernova blast is highly energetic radiation. If the supernova is large enough, it will overwhelm those defenses, but the Romulans should have had decades to prepare for the wave's arrival. As it was, they only had hours. Goodbye. Ambassador Spock attempted to organize an evacuation, but the Romulan Senate refused. I guess they thought they had more time. That was a horrible time. Ambassador Spock had a plan to stop the wave, but after the destruction, a Romulan named Nero blamed him. Nero had a ship of awesome power. We still don't know everything about the Narada, but we think the Romulans used Borg technology to create it. Nero destroyed dozens of our ships, and even attacked a Klingon fleet led by General Worf. I hear Worf barely survived. Ultimately, Nero confronted Spock in the Joga system. Spock managed to use red matter to create an artificial singularity to contain the worst of the supernova's blast, but both he and Nero were lost. Goodbye. In a word, troubled. Seela rules what remains of the Star Empire and isn't shy about using the Tal Shiar and the military to bring systems back into the fold. Meanwhile, Titan and his unificationists have formed the Romulan Republic. The Federation and the Klingons recently recognized them at Khitomer, while Empress Seela and her allies express their disapproval violently. Tensions remain high. The Remans have formed a resistance movement in response to Imperial persecution. There's a lot of bad blood between Remans and Romulans that could end rather poorly. Even more troubling are reports concerning Taurus, the former Imperial Praetor. She was ousted from power by Seela, and rumor has it she's seeking powerful allies from both within the Empire and without. Seela made a lot of enemies over the years. This could be their chance to settle old scores. Goodbye. Packed and ready. The USS Tucker is waiting for me at the starbase. They'll be taking me to the Joga system. Maybe this time we'll find the clues we need to solve this mystery. Goodbye. Thank you for your assistance. Is there anything else you want to know? Never! The crew of the Tucker can handle anything the Romulans can throw at us. Besides, you can only learn so much from sensors and probes. To really understand the Joga system, we need to be there. The Romulans are touchy. Watch what you say or you'll be in for a fight. The Remans don't even bother talking before they fire, so I think they're more dangerous than the Romulans. Seela's found some new allies, too. They're from the Delta Quadrant, but I don't know much about them. Wish me luck! Oh, and I'd check in with Admiral T'Nae before you leave. She might have new orders for you. Goodbye.
You may have heard about the tragedy at Khitomer. Empress Seela attempted to disrupt the conference with a bomb, resulting in the death of Commander T'Nae. Now, Seela is offering a political reconciliation with the Federation, despite the fact that we have allied with the Romulan Republic. She has invited Federation diplomats to meet with her delegation at a secure base on the edge of the neutral zone. However, we have recently received intelligence that Seela is amassing a fleet. We are sending you with the peace delegation as cover for your investigation into Seela's activities. This is a very delicate situation. You must try to covertly obtain information about Seela's plans without disrupting our peace efforts or upsetting Seela. However, we do have an agent in her retinue who will help you.
Greetings and welcome to Agrama. I am pleased that Starfleet sent such a notable officer as its representative at this conference. Please enter a standard orbit and transport down to these coordinates. This meeting may mark the beginning of a new day for the Federation and the Romulan Star Empire.
The rest of the delegates are already in the conference room. My aide, Jevon, will take you there. I have some business to attend to before we begin.
The Romulans can be so difficult to deal with, especially these Imperials. They are forever setting traps, twisting words, and jockeying for advantage. Even a conference with the Klingons would be preferable. At least you know where you stand with Klingons. I'm reminded of a line I read once in an ancient Earth text. Hide a knife behind a smile. Every smile here hides a knife.
We are so pleased that you were able to attend our conference. The Empire was quite dismayed at your decision to support the terrorist insurgents rather than the rightful government of the Romulan people. So much for your vaunted Prime Directive. In any case, neither of us benefit from extended conflict. So, despite your questionable alliances, we are choosing to open negotiations in hopes of normalizing relations between the Federation and the Romulan Star Empire.
I thought the Federation's alliance with the Romulan Republic would be the end of any meaningful dialogues with Empress Seela. After all, she considers the Republic to be a terrorist organization. She may have an ulterior motive for inviting us here, but we had to take the chance that Seela's offer to negotiate is sincere and act in kind. The Federation must pursue every avenue for peace.
It is agreeable to meet with you. You have my people's enduring gratitude for how you handled that matter with Ambassador Sokev. This is another trying time for Vulcan. The Romulan Star Empire blames the Vulcan Science Academy for the Hobus supernova that destroyed their world. They are utterly intransigent in this misguided belief, despite the fact that Ambassador Spock warned them of the danger and ultimately gave his life to stop the loss of even more worlds. Romulans are a most illogical people. Sometimes I find it hard to believe we were once a single species.
Welcome to Agrama. Isn't this a lovely facility? You must tour the atrium later. Hard to believe this system was infested by Orion pirates not long ago. You know, some of my colleagues were against this meeting, but I lobbied for it. I said the entire Federation cannot be as blind as the people who were at the farce at Kittimer. If you just see the problems the Romulan Republic are causing, I'm sure you can persuade your government to reconsider their rash choice and sever their agreements with these rebels.
I am so pleased to see the Federation recognize and attempt to rectify its past mistakes. I knew that a people as clever as yours would realize eventually that it is folly to antagonize the Romulan Star Empire. I am also confident it will only be a matter of time before you realize that you have made a grievous error by allying yourselves with terrorists, scoundrels, and thieves. The sooner you renounce your poorly considered alliance with the so-called Romulan Republic, the sooner we will be able to come to a mutually beneficial arrangement.
I apologize for the interruption. My name is Tokav. I am one of the stewards here. We've had a slight complication with the dietary requirements of some of your delegation. Could I borrow you for a moment so we can clear this up? Frankly, Drake says you can be trusted. That is enough for me. There's more going on here than a diplomatic conference. Seela has no interest in courting the Federation. So why is she suddenly doing so now? We're going to find out what she's up to. The lower level of this facility is off limits to everyone but the Empress and her aides. But that access hatch right over there opens up to a maintenance tunnel that leads down. The doorway is guarded, so while I distract the guards, you sneak through the door. Is just ahead in the northeast corner of the room. There will be a security room near the exit of the maintenance tunnel on the level below us. Access one of the consoles there. Maybe you'll learn more about what she's doing. I need to get back to the reception before I'm missed. But I should be able to cover your absence for a few minutes. More than that, and you're on your own.
Empress, the fleet is on its way to Vulcan.
Excellent. Have the weapons loaded aboard my ship. I will depart as soon as they are on board. At last, we will have our revenge for the destruction of Romulus. Hail Hakiv and put him through to my personal terminal. Then leave me. I have matters to attend to.
Yes, Empress.
Computer, begin playback of file 2895 Gamma.
After I left Starfleet, I made it my life's work to reunite the Romulans with their Vulcan brothers. For many years, I lived among them and waged a campaign of peace. 21 years ago, the star of the Joga system went supernova and sent a wave of devastation across the quadrant. I promised to save the Romulan homeworld. I failed.
Computer, end file. I cannot suffer more of that arrogant fool. Soon, Vulcan will suffer the same fate as my world.
I have Hakiv, Empress.
Patch him through.
Greetings, Empress.
My fleet has launched for Vulcan. I expect you to rendezvous with us there.
Alas, I must disappoint you. The terrorist cells of the Romulan Republic demand my full attention. Kittimer did not go as planned. Now they have powerful allies. And with Taurus missing...
Spare me your excuses, Hakiv. Nothing is more important than avenging the destruction of our homeworld. You disappoint me, Hakiv. I trust you will not do so again.
I should have known the Federation would send spies instead of diplomats. And you call us treacherous. No matter. You may have destroyed these weapons, but my fleet is already en route to Vulcan. You cannot stop what has begun. Guards! Capture the intruders!
did down there. It made quite an impression. Good work on disabling the transport inhibitor. Your ambassadors are safely back on their ships, but I had to blow my cover to get them there. Now it's time for me to get out while I still can. Farewell.
Rescuing us.
I would not have believed anyone capable of this treachery, even Seela.
I had not expected to hear from you so soon. Was your mission successful? I should have expected as much. You cannot trust them. I never do. I am contacting all available ships. We will meet you there. Thanks to your warning, we were able to divert some ships to defend Vulcan. I have come to personally command the defense. The other forces have already been briefed. Your role in this battle will be to defend the science vessels that have set up a tachyon detection grid to detect any cloaked Romulan ships. We cannot allow any enemy ships to slip through. The ships maintaining the grid will be priority targets for the Romulans, but they must remain in position or the grid will collapse. That is why I need you to protect them.
How can you fight what you cannot see? Surrender now, and I may give you a merciful death.
Our tachyon detection grid has revealed scout ships attempting to penetrate the perimeter.
Vulcan must pay for its crimes.
Forces converge on the Romulan fleet. Target's shield has failed.
on this day, but the fight will continue. Romulus will be avenged. There will be blood for blood, death for death. My world is gone. I will not rest until Vulcan suffers the same fate. Indeed. Then why does Starfleet use ships equipped with weapons of mass destruction? Why did the Vulcan Science Council willfully refuse to assist us when there was a chance to save our world? Every sorrow in my life can be laid at the feet of the Federation.
I have
Congratulations, Commander.